is combining the flexibility of a Softopper with the utility of a bed rack, the ultimate solution for your truck. Hey everyone, welcome to Jason Explains Things. We're back with my Toyota Tacoma, and today I got a cool video for you. We're gonna do an install guide and initial review for a unique bed rack that is compatible with Softoppers. Before we get started, I want to say that this video is not sponsored by any company. I paid full price for the Softopper, and I've said good and bad things about it over the years. And as far as the bed rack is concerned, I purchased it at the manufacturer's cost. So all opinions and thoughts are my own.
This is the Softopper rack from Peak CNC Machining out of British Columbia, Canada. It's made of North American 11-gauge steel with aluminum side panels to save on weight. The finish is high quality with a zinc primer and black powder coat. Time will tell because the rack is still new, but this finish is noticeably better than other racks I've installed in the past. The arm height is adjustable from 16 to 24 inches, which is a unique feature I was looking for. There's no cutting or modification needed to install this rack on your truck, since it uses the factory bed side rails. Let's jump back to the shop and cover how to install the rack, and then I'll give you my initial impressions.
All right, we're in the shop. Time to install the new bed rack. We're gonna take the old Softopper rails off. This should be a really easy job. Everything kind of just bolts into the stock Tacoma side rails on the bed here. The only kind of negative is now that everything uses that, it's gonna get probably kind of crowded on those rails, and I'm curious if the original tie downs here are gonna be able to fit with all these new things attaching to the bed rail. Tools for this job are incredibly basic. We have a 9/16 deep socket and wrench, and then a 7/32 Allen wrench. The hardware is all stainless steel, so it's not gonna rust on you. And these are all nylon lock nuts, unlike other ones that can kind of get loose over time because of, off-roading and rattling and such. This shouldn't happen nearly that often. Oh, and because the side rails on the truck here have been on for a while and this weather stripping is pretty darn worn out, I went and grabbed some new stuff and we're gonna put this on when we're all done.
Jason, what are you doing now?
I'm gonna take these off.
How many times have you done this before?
I haven't taken this off since I put it on.
Oh, wow.
It's been a while. There we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Oop. Yeah, I think replacing the weather stripping is a good idea.
Yeah, that thing is completely crushed.
So here is our hardware for each of the uprights. We're gonna install one right here, here, and here. So these just nicely slide in. Just slide it in like that. I'm not sure about whether or not we're gonna be able to retain these. Oh, actually, I just noticed. Those can just be put in like this.
What?
And put in and out.
way.
So we can use them.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I've been doing this wrong for quite a while because I thought you had to like take them out of the side, but you totally don't. Okay, cool. We can use them. For the end uprights, you kind of want to see that this arm is pushed all the way this way, and then this one is pushed all the way that way, and then the middle one is just, the base plate is just kind of universal for both sides. So yeah, pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory.
The bed rack didn't come with instructions, so we did some experimenting to get our plan together, including where and how many bolts to install.
Couple things to think about all at the same time. It's like,
things.
this is simple, but make sure everything works before you make it all finalized.
We decided to get the 6 bases loosely in place and space the 2 front arms evenly from the cab. The placement of the rest would be determined by the side panels. And of course, we'd make sure each side matched. The plan that worked best for us was to match the height of the crossbars to be even with the Prinsu rack's crossbars. So we set the height of each arm individually, measuring to make sure they'd all match.
There's been quite a bit of trial and error off camera, so we look smart. Now, there's a little bit of a issue putting this together. There's quite a bit of slop in between this top piece, this corner piece, and the base. And also, we originally thought we could put washers in between here to tighten everything up, but if you do that, then the carriage bolts don't work. So what you kind of have to do is tighten these up as evenly as possible, and then kind of cinch them all down, center this so it doesn't kind of lean one way or the other.
Glenn, who designed the rack, says that 1 bolt on each side of the arm is sufficient rather than 2 for a total of 4 per arm. And this would free up more hardware for connecting the crossbars at the end of the process. Honestly, while I see his point, I think 2 on each side is better Again, this is because there's a little bit of wiggle room between the upper and lower piece of each upright, so I think 4 is better. That's my opinion, but now you know there's a few ways to do this.
Jason, here it is.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, buddy.
Next, we attach the 3 crossbars with 1 carriage bolt per corner instead of 2, which I plan on adding later in the future. Next, we installed the side panels, which gave us the final placement of the rest of the uprights.
Okay, we got the entire rack assembled and tight, so now we're just gonna tighten these anchor bolts down, and we can move on to putting the Softopper back in. Hooray.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Like the raptor cages when they haul the raptors in Jurassic
Ooh,
Park.
clever girl and stuff.
Even though it's sort of a pain, I highly suggest replacing your weather stripping if you have an older Softopper. We reinstalled the side rails for the Softopper, and when I put the Softopper back in place, I realized there was a brand new limitation.
Does it need to go up higher? And now for an initial review of the Peak CNC bed rack. Things I like about it and a couple things that I'm not crazy about, at least initially. Number one, a really good thing about it, it is definitely stout and very well made. I would not be afraid to mount a very heavy rooftop tent to this and tons of gear. You always have to keep your truck's payload in mind, of course. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the fact that this is an adjustable rack as far as the height is concerned is very unique and very cool. A lot of other ones you have to, pick exactly the height you want when you order it, and you can never change it over time should, you adjust something down the road. So I love that about this. I know looks are subjective, and I'd love to hear what you guys think, but I think it looks pretty cool. My wife, when she saw it, she's like, oh wow, you kind of turned your Tacoma into a tank. So it is definitely stout and makes a statement. And I think once I actually configure things to use these panels and everything, I think it's gonna look pretty cool. And because I owe it to you guys to be completely honest, I'm also gonna go over some things right off the bat I'm not crazy about. Number one, one of the great things about the Softopper is that it's so easy to take on and off, or even like when you're on a trip, you just fold it over and then attach it to the front, and then you have the use of your open truck bed. Obviously, once you add an external rack that goes over it, you're not going to be able to change things. And one thing I didn't realize until actually putting the rack on was that you can't even use the folding mechanism anymore. When you install the Softopper, it has to be essentially deployed completely to slide in there and mount it. It makes changing things much more difficult than it used to be, which kind of sucks. And that's like the number one selling point of a Softopper is that. And so the fact that you lose that kind of permanently, not great. Now, technically, it could be possible to have a rack that allows for that folding feature, but it would have to be like this tall. It would look so stupid. And if you ever wanted to put a tent on there, it would be like you make your truck handle awfully. So I don't blame Peak CNC for doing it this way, but losing that feature does suck. Another thing about the rack that I'm not crazy about is that it actually makes the Softopper worse in a way that it already was kind of bad, in that it now has more air gaps and more ability for water to get in. I'll get close-ups of this, but there are now some new gaps that used to be essentially closed or close to closed, and they're not closed anymore. We have one here, we have one especially in the back. I mean, again, it was already a weakness. It's just making it now a little bit worse, right? Another slight negative that I noticed just before coming out to film this for you guys is that you cannot mount traction boards directly onto this. These side panels are a little bit too narrow for the pins for MaxTrax. Maybe other brands might fit, but MaxTrax do not. So that's kind of a negative thing. I mean, there's other stuff I can mount here, which is gonna work just fine. And I honestly don't think I would really want wider side panels, because then it would be harder to get at the Softopper anyway if I wanted to open it. And also I think it would kind of look worse. But just a note, you cannot mount MaxTrax directly to this. Last negative I noticed, and this is pretty minor, and I think honestly with maybe like some shims or something, this wouldn't be an issue. This upper piece of the arm going into the base, there's a little bit of slop. Now, I think with some shims, that would be taken care of. Or if it had as tight tolerances as you have from the crossbars to the top of the arm, Like you see here, there's virtually no gap there. So it's not an issue up here, it's just an issue here. So food for thought, maybe either add shims or make these a little bit tighter. Would make installation a little bit better. My future plans for this bed rack. So I'm gonna run it for a while. I wanna give it a try. I wanna see how I like it, see if it works for me as we go into adventures in 2025. Definitely gonna move some stuff off of the roof rack and accommodate, use the rack to accommodate things, make things a little easier to get at. If you've seen the video about my rooftop tent that's currently on my 4Runner, we're kind of wanting to set it up so that we can easily swap from the 4Runner to this and back and forth. Kind of depends on what vehicle we're taking camping that day, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna run that, I'm gonna install it, it's gonna be great. I'll definitely update you guys as we go and give you my honest thoughts. And then after a healthy amount of use, I can decide then if this is a permanent solution for me or if I wanna go another direction. But I really value your guys' opinion. What do you think? Do you think the combination of an external rack on top of a soft topper is a good one? Would you rather just run a bed rack alone or a soft topper alone? Or are you more an enclosed camper or a topper kind of person? And one more thing I gotta say, by the time this video comes out, I will have just crossed the 100,000 subscriber mark here on Jason Explains Things. I could have not done that without all of your help. It's very humbling. It's incredible that this has happened. I just gotta say, it kind of say, even if something is hard and it takes a long time to happen, if you're stubborn and you stick at it, eventually cool things will happen. And I am really looking forward to 2025. And again, thank you all very much. So until next time, God bless all of you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and don't forget to do it yourself.